We are the Bro4 Squad podcast, and this is, yeah, you guessed it, our bro back to Ace Ventura Pet Detective. I'm Matt Geiger, and let's go down to Snowflake's tank to our own marine biologist, Brian Banner. What's up, dude?
What's up, yo?
And as you know, we're grading this as we grade everything in our life on our 5 criteria, starting with the cast. Mr. Banner, talk about it.
I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit here on this one. Jim Carrey is absolutely hilarious in this. This is when he's in his prime, classic Jim Carrey before he went all crazy now. This is like when I think about my childhood, this is part of my childhood, is Jim Carrey doing what he does. Just his ridiculousness and his Hawaiian shirts, which we all know how much I love Hawaiian shirts.
Yep. You've probably been Ace Ventura a couple times for Halloween, haven't you? With your hair and your shirt collection.
Yeah, I mean, just like a typical Saturday, but whatever.
All right, I'll take the scraps, which is not much, man. Dan Marino's in this, which is a fantastic, like, I don't know how many times in Pee Wee, middle school, and high school football I scream laces out, Dan. Tone Loc is in this, who has 2 awesome songs in the 90s, if you haven't ever heard them, and he's also in Blank Check and a couple other movies. And My Girl. Has anyone else, besides the Chili Peppers, been good through the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today as Courtney Cox? She looks good through every year, every generation. She's in this as well. I wish she was in the other ones, but she is hot as hell in this as Ace Ventura's love interest. So, to the story. Banner, take this away.
The story is just like... It's so just out there.
It's fucking ridiculous.
But, like, who's going to steal a dolphin? Like, and how do you steal a dolphin? But yeah, let's make an entire feature film around that and make it enjoyable. And honestly, by the end, like, you're kind of invested in it. Well,
not only are they stealing a dolphin, instead of calling the FBI, they're hiring a pet detective that just specializes on most of the time if your pet's lost, you just put up, shit on every phone pole throughout your neighborhood to try to have someone get back, like maybe a $400, $500 reward. This guy just specialized on being a pet detective. Anytime a pet is lost, stolen, misplaced, you call this guy and he fucking finds it. And he's like an animal freak, like in his apartment whenever he jingles his keys and the guy's like, Ventura. Yes, Satan. And he has like a dog, a parakeet, a jaguar, everything in his apartment.
Penguin comes out of his refrigerator.
It's fucking insane. And as a 90s kid, you're all like, yeah, okay, typical movie. And it was funny as hell. PG-13 too, by the way. So going right into best scene, I'll take this first because mine wouldn't happen first. We have a saying here on the Bro4 Squad. The opening scene doesn't have to be the best scene. But
got to
set a tone. And this one, with his window being cracked and he has to see out. How many times have you been drunk in the winter and got in your car, hopefully not to drink and drive, but let's pretend that you do, and it's so defrosted, but you got to get to McDonald's or wherever before they close so you can get some hamburgers, and you're like, don't worry, I'll just Ace Ventura it all the way to the fucking drive-thru. I've done it. Everyone's fucking done it, where it's so frosted over you just stick your head out the window. And he goes to this guy's house, steals the puppy, gives it back to the chick who's extremely hot. And
the way that he just destroys that fragile box.
Yeah, the fragile box, and he's just like, sounds broken. Probably, sir. It might have been something nice, though. It's a great scene. It's fucking hilarious. It's classic Jim Carrey. It's just him doing just total body comedy like Chris Farley used to do. I was into it. I loved it. What about you?
100%. It's just perfect. Everything about it is great about that scene. My scene is when he's going through and he's scratching off. He's got the picture and he's scratching off all the former players to figure out who's missing diamond who's at the bottom of the pool. And like he's going through, he's like getting punched in the face and looking at the imprint. He looks over the urinal stall at that guy's dick.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. Like the whole thing of that whole like montage of him finding that's the missing diamond is just absolutely absurd. It's a good way to get you from point A to point B quickly, but still being entertaining. And again, classic 90s, just this is so ridiculous, over the top. Yeah, it's about par for the course for movies here at the Bro4 Squad.
A lot of famous people in that scene, too. The great Don Shula in that scene. I believe O.J. McDuffie or A.J. Green from the president at the time, I believe this was in 1994, Miami Dolphins were on that scene. That is a great scene. Back when football movies actually used to use real football players. So impact on pop culture, I'm just going to come out and say it. I love this movie. But I think 2 might be better.
I agree.
Which never happens in comedies where the second one is better. But 2, I think, makes me laugh more, which is weird because I love sports. I think this would be more up my alley, not, taking over a tribe in Africa trying to find a bat. But I think 2 might be better. So for impact, I think this is huge because it actually has a sequel that's fucking funny.
See, yes, you're right. It does have huge, but then it's also 0 because this movie doesn't do anything. It's just a typical 90s movie. Yes, we get a fantastic sequel out of it that's arguably in some inner circles better than the original. But it doesn't, I don't know. I don't think it's that huge.
Wow.
Because I would say that the second one is better because it's a sequel and it's better than the original. It's basically saying that, hey, this one is better because it's bad.
You can't be pissed at Batman Begins because The Dark Knight's better. I mean, I know that Batman Begins set up everything, and I don't think the second one takes anything from this movie except for 2 of the actors, but still, rewatchability for me, this is on CMT has really stepped up their movie game, honestly.
I watched this the other day.
Yeah, this is on CMT. It's on, I think, FX or something like that sometimes. Anytime it's on, if, my wife's getting ready or something, or I'm
this could be on Nick at Night.
Yeah, I'll watch it for sure. It's fucking hilarious. It's got Dan Marino in it. It's fucking awesome. Maybe 2 or 3 times a year for me, for sure.
Easily.
All right. Do we have any more one-liners to say before we fucking kick this off? Probably not. I don't know.
No. Maybe Laces Out.
Whenever she says, how about I make your life a living hell? And he says, well, I'm not really ready for a relationship. When I was younger, I had no clue what that meant. Now I laugh at that every fucking time that's on.
It actually has meaning now.
It does. We're the Bro4 Squad. Bro4squad.com is where you can check us out, our blog, our Hall of Fame, and all of our content. Twitter, at Bro4 Squad. We tweet back at us, follow us. YouTube and iTunes is where you can subscribe to us. That is also where we keep all of our content. Until then, we'll see you around Snowflake's fish tank.
It's a mammal.